The graphic says Blues Game Day Live, so that's what it is. And I'm alongside Kelly Chase, Darren Pang back here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, my friend.
It's great to be home.
Isn't it?
It's always good. You get off the plane, you see that snow, that white, whiteness across the tundra here in Calgary, and you're like, whoa, it's going to be awful cold. It was a beautiful night last night, and it's great to have that crisp air up here.
You're right about that. In fact, when in Calgary, why not have a piece of beef for dinner?
Right, Alberta beef, buddy. We made sure we checked that out. Yeah, and some Canadian wine, Okanagan wine. You got come along with that.
All good right there. All good. So we're on a little bit of a road swing right here. Calgary, Edmonton. When we get to Edmonton, we'll follow up with our curling day. But I can't give that away because it hasn't happened yet. No. But we are going to go curling.
So we're going to debut the Rocks.
That'll be our Game Day Live before the Edmonton Oilers game, a couple of nights from now. And then we got Vancouver, and then it's back home. The Calgary Flames have been at home forever. Their last road game was in St. Louis. Right. And so they're this is the last one of their home stand. What was it like for you being a player? You played a lot longer than I did. I can't remember anymore. But being a player and knowing that this is the last one, is there sort of a comfortable feeling? Is this an advantage for the Blues?
You want to get on the road? You're home at any length of time. Your wife wants you on the road. You want to get on the road. Everybody wants to go have a steak at a restaurant and enjoy the boys again. No, the truth is that you do find some comfort in the home cooking. And Calgary's a team that's been very good. Whether they win or lose, their game has been very good at home. Parity-wise, in this league, it's so tough. So the little advantages that you get of knowing the bounces off the walls and some of the little idiosyncrasies of the game that you can have at home makes a difference in a hockey game, because the margin in this league is so darn small right now that I think that there is an advantage. And if a team can click like they are, especially in these older buildings, because there's so much uniform with the new buildings, whereas an older building like this is something that can be unique in a lot of ways for the home cooking.
So I'll stay with the Flames for a second then, because we've got a fella that didn't play in the game that the Blues won against Calgary, the first matchup back at Scottrade Center, is the 45-year-old 8 and 8 months. That's almost 46. The 6'3", 230-pound guy named Jaromir Jagr is going to play in tonight's game. So our Blues fans get a chance for the first time to see Jagr as a member of a Canadian team in the NHL. I retired in 1990-91. That was his first year.
It's unbelievable what he's done and accomplished and continues to do. I mean, every time he puts up a point, every time he plays a game, it's another record. It's another, they got to rewrite something. So for Jagr, I mean, he's one of those guys. His patience, his experience, his knowledge of the game, his love and passion for the game is evident every time he plays. And so for a young Calgary team that they're trying to get to mature a little bit, he's a big help to this team. And I mean, you were doing ESPN when they had those great teams in Pittsburgh and everything. I mean, he was so dynamic one-on-one and his speed and everything. What's been the biggest change in his game that you've noticed?
Well, I think his stick's gotten longer.
It has.
I think the older you get, quite frankly, and I remember Scotty Bowman telling several members of the Red Wings as they were getting older, longer in the tooth, extend that stick a little bit. And but his ability to control the puck down low is probably better now than it was then. I think his one-on-one play then, because he was a little quicker of foot, and he could really dangle. He could toe drag and slide it through your legs. And now it's more of a methodical approach, I think, when I watch him. And I like the fact that he is a good example to the players. Like, I thought a couple of years ago, and I'll just come out and say this, I thought he was playing for selfish reasons a few years ago. I'm thinking, why is he still playing? Right. And he's going from team to team, and it's kind of taken away, the aura that is Jaromir Jagr. And now, the more I listen to players that have played with him talk about his influence, and why wouldn't you want a young player hanging with Jagr? He doesn't do anything other than talk about hockey, plays hockey, trains for hockey.
Right.
Wears a 40-pound weight everywhere he goes, and then he wants to go to the rink at 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. Well, it sure is better than some alternatives that young kids get into. So,
well, I saw Matthew Tkachuk doing an interview the other day, and he was talking about that exact thing, and he said, I got on the ice with, you could just see this excitement. He goes, he sounded so much like Keith. He said, I got on the ice with him for the first time, and he goes, and I just had to check myself. I couldn't believe I was on the ice with Jagr. And you could see the enthusiasm in him. So So I see the young guys in Calgary absorbing that, taking that in, and I think that's good for the experience at level that they need to get to in Calgary.
Okay, so let's shift over to the Blues then, because it's quite apparent that Mike Yeo, the coaching staff, and the players, so we don't always have to just say the coaching staff. The players, they're the first ones to know how they're playing, and they don't get fooled very easy. But they're not starting games very well.
No.
I mean, it's been a main focal point. They've been able to turn it on when they've had to, but do you think the last game against the Islanders was kind of a, okay, let's get this going here and play the game the right way right off the hop?
Yeah, they weren't defending real well, and it cost them.
Yep.
The Islanders capitalized. In that hockey game, though, Stastny had two unbelievable chances where Greiss made saves. It could have been 2-1 St. Louis out of the gate, and it ended up 3-0. Both times they went down the other end right off of the opportunity and scored. So, yes, they didn't defend real well to start the hockey game, and that's a concern. Along with the power play, Panger, they certainly are aware that specialty teams will win or lose you games, and it's just not going for them right now.
The last two power plays the Blues scored was against Calgary on home ice, so they've gone in their last 8 or 9 games 2 for 22. But they get looks all the time. It's not like okay. The one area that they were talking about was their entries into the zone. Winning faceoffs. I thought against the Islanders, their entries into the zone were exceptional.
Yeah.
There was a couple of little tweaks in the way they came through the neutral zone, but they got in the zone cleanly, and then they were able to set up shop and have the patience to do so. They just didn't score.
I think the one thing that you're going to, I think that it may be a change at some point is Stastny's so good at A, the faceoffs, and B, working the puck down low, and that's not something the Blues do. They keep it up high, so one of the options might be to get Stastny out on that first unit and have some kind of plays develop where they're down low. And whether the guys like whoever gets bumped off it or not, Paul Stastny on the goal line is the best they have on the team. He's creative. He's got such intelligence with the puck, and he has the ability to stand in there, redirect pucks, but yet slide off the side of the goalie and make plays down on the goal line. And I think that's one of the areas where the Blues don't try and expose other teams is on the goal line down low on the power play. They're so darn good up top. They're getting looks, as you said, but they might not be the right types of looks. They might not be in tight.
A little bit too predictable sometimes.
I think so.
I think as a goaltender, when you know there's going to be a one-timer from the top of the circles and that traffic isn't perfect, these goalies are stopping those shots.
Well, you can get out and cheat a little bit on it. You know it's coming
right
from there. You can cut down the angles, and I think that's, as you said, they're pretty predictable.
I'll stay with the Stastny line because this is not going to happen very often, if at all, ever, to see Stastny, Steen, and Sobotka as a minus 11 total in that game. Bad luck was just happening all over the place. From being robbed by Thomas Greiss, by Stastny, who they created great scoring chances. They had the looks. And then to get the tip of the blade right into his face, so fillets his mouth open. A chiclet gets loose. It was just uncle, huh?
After the playing last night, I said, tough night on Stastny. He goes, looks at me, he goes, oh my God. He goes, and what did I come back for? The way I was playing, it was going so bad. He goes, get stabbed in the mouth with a stick, no call on it. He goes, the minus is not scoring while I'm on the doorstep. He said, I should have just grabbed a case of beer, got my car after that, and went home. I was awful.
Well, I know that they'll rebound in a big way, and it wouldn't surprise me that if Mike Yeo tweaks this lineup a little bit and gets their attention. I think the one thing that coaches do, and this isn't from one game, but I think he felt like this has been kind of building for 2 or 3 games. Now they've been getting away with it, but certain aspects of the prep have been creeping in. So whenever if that's even if you change up the lines a little bit, it gets everybody's attention, especially in the morning skate. Now maybe as the game goes on, they go back to what was normal before. But when you're on the bench and the coach changes one person off that line, your ears are a little okay. Who's up?
It's definitely a wake-up call.
Yeah. Well, that sounds good. I think we're going to see Mike Smith in goal for the Calgary Flames. We saw Eddie Lack the last time, and the boys in blue really picked him apart, especially on the stick side. Mike Smith's a real good playmaking guy, so as a forward, you know that you can't just fire the puck around blindly to him because he's just going to fire it out, and you're going to have no forecheck.
He'll fire it tape to tape to the far blue line. He has no problem with confidence with the puck. So Blues are going to have to keep it away from him. Lots of soft chips, behind the D so that they can get in behind it when they're in trouble. And, you can't try and rim the puck by him or cross-corner dump. He just comes out and plays it like a defenseman.
There's the only way you can win all 3 games on the road trip is
to win the first one.
Is to win the first one. So I know this afternoon I'm gonna do my best.
That's what you get, folks. If you're from Ottawa, you get facts like that.
That's analysis. You can't birdie all the holes if you don't birdie the first one.
See,
that's what I know. I know that for sure. And there's no golf today in Calgary.
It's a pangism. It's not a yogiism.
So I think we'll venture on. We'll watch the boys practice. We'll go down and let's go talk to the old guy, Yager.
Why not?
Huh?
What could happen?
Because when he cuts his hair the next time, I'm going to have some of those. I'm going to take some strands.
Borrow it?
Yeah, it's Fountain of Youth.
I guess so. I mean? Apparently. I mean.
Thanks for dinner last night, too.
Yeah,
Appreciate
you're welcome.
that.
Hey, all right. Happy to do it. You're back in my country.
Thanks, big boy. That concludes this award-winning show this morning. I hope you join us on any one of the social platforms on Blues Game Day Live. For Kelly Chase, I'm Darren Robert Pang. Enjoy your day, everybody.